Everybody, I'm Pandy. I'm playing Red Orchestra 2, Heroes of Stalingrad. What? What the fuck, Pandy? Why aren't you playing World of Tanks? Shit, I got my inner love for the first-person shooter. And plus, I've always been a fan of Red Orchestra since it's been a mod for Unreal Tournament 2003. So don't be hating. I've always wanted this game. I've wanted it. I'm excited it's coming out real soon. I was shit excited in 2009 when they announced that they were going to be doing it. I've been waiting for this day for the longest time. This video is going to be my first 24-hour impression, the beta that's currently available with Steam on the Digital Deluxe Edition. First and foremost, it is pretty as hell. The graphics is outstanding. You can't really tell what the highest graphics is based off the video I have because of frame rates. I couldn't film the game itself at the highest level of graphics. But just from the video and the game itself, the way it looks here, it's unbelievable. It looks pretty good. It has that Ostfront, the original Red Orchestra look and feel because it's the Eastern Front style warfare. They've done a fine job in brutally battering everything and making everything look like it's destructed and destroyed. There's no glass anywhere, which is realistic to a war zone. One of the things that was a rare thing in Berlin during the bombing campaigns was none of the buildings had glass, and a lot of the stuff that they did was they just boarded it all up just because, well, it's going to get blown out somehow, some way, more than likely one way or another, get destroyed. So I like how it looks. I'm going to talk about the cover system in a little bit, but the cover system also provides another level of graphics where the characters themselves will perform actions and look more lifelike in relations to how they're fighting and how they hold weapons and how they're holding them, and it has some teething problems because sometimes it don't look right, but at the same time it looks great in my opinion, and thumbs up to Tripwire for making that happen. As far as I can tell, the guns themselves behave realistically in relations to recoil. I can't say about ballistics, but in recoil they do. I don't know if any of you guys have fired any automatic weapons during your lifetime, and I have, and I will tell you, firing a burst is how you're supposed to fire these automatic weapons in a war zone, unless you want to fire some miniature mortar rounds a couple miles away, which, well, they don't explode when they hit the ground, but they're acting like mortars at that point. Red Orchestra 2, you have to pretty much fire and burst when you want to be effective in range. You can't just spray and pray. If you hold down the trigger, the recoil is going to go up a lot. Even on the bolt action rifles, when you fire it, bolt action rifles come with a lot of recoil because they're firing a full battle cartridge down range, and that's going to have some kick, so you're going to have to resight yourself every time you want to shoot somebody. When it comes to hand-to-hand combat, room-to-room fighting, grips of death with the enemy, you gotta pretty much fling as many freaking rounds at them as possible, and that's pretty much the only acceptable time where you can hold down the trigger and spray and pray. Now, I don't know anything about the ballistics in the game, and I haven't really noticed it. I've tried it, killed some people, but I don't really notice it too much because the enemy, when you're shooting at them, they're 100, 200 meters away or less, and that's at the maximum range. Most of the time they're that close. You're not really getting into gun battles with enemies that are 400, 500 meters away. I don't really see it. I don't see it happening. So as far as I can tell so far, just from my experiences for the first day, the guns are realistic and are decent in my eyes. Red Orchestra 2 comes with a new cover system, which I've mentioned before. Normally when it comes to a first-person shooter, you just pretty much took cover and worried about getting hit just by hiding like a little bitch. Red Orchestra 2, they provide you a cover system so that you can pop up and take snapshots and also automatically, take cover behind something. You automatically don't expose yourself. When you do pop up and take a shot, it's predefined so that you are limited to the height of the object. They're not going to, like in Red Orchestra 2, when you iron sighted, there was pretty much already a defined amount of height that you gain. With the cover system, you're pretty much heighted to the object that hiding behind so that you're not exposing like your midsection or you're just your arms and head. Now with the cover system, they also provide blind fire, so you don't even have to expose your head. You can just lift the weapon up and shoot. It's highly inaccurate, of course, because you're not aiming down the sights, and when it comes to war, when they're shooting, they don't really aim down the iron sights all the time unless they're in a prepared position. Talk to any Marines or U.S. Army soldiers that have been doing room-to-room clearing, they would all tell you, we don't look down the iron sights when we're clearing those rooms. What we do is we'll just, look down the barrel of the gun, pretty much take a guess at what you're shooting at, because when you're that close, you're you're not going to be looking down the barrel of your gun. You want to know what, you want to have a good situational awareness to be able to pick out threats. So blind firing, I can see how it's going to be useful if you know there's an enemy in the other room. You can shoot at them. I don't know if I killed anyone in this fashion. It's not like I keep an eye in the upper left hand or upper right hand corner for the kill counter. And also the kill counter is a little delayed. If you shoot someone, they die, it's going to take about 5 seconds for their name to pop up to say that you killed them. I think they did this on purpose so that if you're shooting at someone, you're not going to know right away when you kill them. So I think that's another plus, but that's off point. I want to get back to the point. The cover system is very good. It'll automatically place you in cover. Gives you a good ability to pretty much hide. The system isn't perfect because, like any system, there's always going to be flaws, but it comes with more benefits than flaws when you're facing off against other people. It pretty much puts you into a very immersive state when it comes to the first person view, because you can blind fire, and that just pretty much allows you to not get hit but also put rounds up. It also gives you the ability to do that pop up and fire and pop back down. I wish I was able to find how you can just hold down on the right click so that you can hold in on sight instead of having to hit it twice to pop up and get down. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I like it. The cover system is a good thing. There's quite a few other features and gameplay types. I want to talk about the first gameplay type, which is my favorite so far that I've played. It's called Countdown. This is where you have a single life and you have to manage to achieve objectives within a small amount of time, and then you switch sides. In other words, you'd be attacking for the first time around and then you'd be defending, and whoever wins or gets in the furthest in regards to winning your objectives wins. This is my favorite because it forces the whole team to act as a team for once, and I'm a big fan of teamwork and team play, and I really like this pretty much game type because it just focuses the team's objectives and forces everyone to pretty much work together, cover each other, and get the job done. Another functionality that I found to like is the bleeding and also the bandages. When it comes to first person shooters, you get shot, that's it. I've always liked how games will provide the opportunity for you to bleed out and you gotta bandage yourself or die. Pretty much. In real life, it's the human body is very difficult to kill off. So in this game, they're aiming to be realistic. It doesn't you're not going to kill someone with one shot unless you put it straight through the heart or in their head. So a lot of times, if you shoot at someone and they're still standing, put another round into them because they're still up. Overall, the wounding system is pretty decent. Like I said, I've gotten hit in the leg in the game, and that you bleed out fairly quickly if they hit a major artery. If you get hit like in the stomach or something, you're pretty much done. You're going to have like 5 seconds and then you slump over and die. I like it. It's pretty good. When it comes to the game sounds, it sounds like a war now. I think they stole the concept from Battlefield 2 in relations to the battle screaming and yelling and stuff. Realistically speaking, it is realistic. A war has never been a quiet environment. Not with just the shooting, but with the shouts of the wounded, and commands from sergeants and officers, fear, anger, seeing the enemy, trying to survive. However much people say that they might have copied it, if you ever read any autobiography or watch YouTube videos of gunfights in Iraq, it's pretty much in line. One thing that's kind of picking at me is the factor that it's mostly in English. I remember the first Red Orchestra where when you played as Germans, you're yelling in German, and whenever you're using the commands to talk, and if you're Russian, you yell in Russian, of course. I want that back, and from what I've heard, they're going to be doing that. They put the beta out there, and people are like, fuck that, what happened to the Russian voices when you're playing Russian? So that's what I want. It kind of makes it real immersive and makes it feel like you're actually a Russian soldier in some fashion if you're yelling in Russian. I think that will be a plus once they implement that in the release. I really haven't done much tanking in the game yet, but I did a little bit, and they seem to get the idea that not everyone wants to be a team player when they go tanking on the field of battle. They give you an option whether or not you want other players to be with you, and if not, they give you the opportunity. And if you don't like other people, it provides you the ability to simply command the tank of your own will, at your own will, while the AI is supporting the other roles of the crew members. The first and only tanks that they have right now is the Panzer IV and the T-34. During release, they're saying they're going to be releasing more tanks and troop carriers, and they say it takes up to 3 months to render a tank internal and out. So it's going to be really interesting to see what tanks they bring in. I want to see the Tiger tank and the IS and the KV. I really want to see the KV because that thing will be a beast. But when it comes to tanking, you can tell your crew where to go, what to shoot. You can try to tell what to shoot. And if you don't tell it what to shoot, the AI gunner will automatically engage enemy tanks. If you see infantry, the bow gunner or the frontal gunner will shoot the machine gun at them, and they will reward you with the kills. And you just got to command the tank and try to, survive. You can take individual positions like the driver position. You can also be the gunner, and I don't know if you can be the loader, which would be kind of boring because all you're doing is loading tank shells. But I really do like how they have the internal parts of the tank, involved. You see the loader loading a tank shell every time they fire a tank. I didn't watch hard enough to see if a tank shell flies out, but that would be kind of cool too. I wasn't watching most of the time. Also like it when your tank gets hit, kind of the whole tank shakes and everything. Whenever I'm a tanker in like those type of games, like in Darkest Hour or Red Orchestra, I'm always the type of guy who will sit out of the tank because you just get a better view of what's going on, and that's what I do here. If I'm doing the voice commentary, I'm just talking about the tanks and stuff, and I have some video, I just haven't put it all together yet. So hopefully I'll kind of edit it up so that there's a bunch more tanking while I'm talking about it. But the tanks, I haven't played it much, so I don't really have an opinion, so I'm not going to offer one. Just want to tell you guys a little bit about it. Overall, the game looks pretty damn good, pretty sweet looking, and even though I suck at it at first, the whole system is new and the combat itself is pretty interesting. I haven't played first-person shooters all that much, minus Battlefield 2. And Battlefield 2 is not exactly a very realistic game. So this is kind of like relearning of realistic gameplay, because I used to play Operation Flashpoint, the original one. I've also played Armed Assault within Tactical Realism. We went out and downloaded mods, the Ace mod to be specific, along with some other ones, pretty much make the game realistic. Shack Tactical, I give you a shout out for all the good times I've had with you guys. I am looking forward to the single player. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the single player. I might actually do like a let's play gameplay of the single player and have a walkthrough and try to beat it and talk about it. And there's a lot of possibilities in relation to Red Orchestra 2. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that along with my World of Tanks videos. Overall, I see a lot of promise for this game. There's going to be a lot of mods. There's already a mod in question. It's the Pacific. The Rising Sun or something, I don't remember what it's called, but it's going to be the Americans and the Japanese, which is completely different from Red Orchestra 2, which is the Germans and the Russians, and then they're going to have the Americans and the Japanese, and that war has never really been done, so I'm looking forward to that too. I'm going to probably like that one also, because I love the beta right now. So far, it's a good game. I like it so far, and hopefully more mods come out. I read something about a World War I mod. You don't see a lot of games for that either, so that'd be interesting too. How this engine is set up and how the game's set up, the cover system, the wounding, the ballistics, the guns. The one era that I actually would like to see them try is the Korean War. I mean, you already got a lot of the Russian weapons. All they got to do is develop more tanks that are more modern tanks, and just implement that into a mountainous, jungle-ish area with lots of bombing and M1 Grands and the American forces, and that would be another type of gameplay. Because there's a lot of like Chinese rushes where, like a lot like Countdown, you give the attacking team unlimited reinforcements, or limited or whatever, but just give them unlimited, and then you just give the defenders their single lives and see how long those defenders can last on the hill. Just send wave after wave after wave of Chinese soldiers and just see how long the defenders will last. Or how quickly the attackers can cap it. I think that would be cool. As you guys might be familiar, I like giving stuff away. This is going to be no different. As you guys probably don't know, though, I won't be doing a daily beta video till it releases on September 13th, which is in 10 days from now. Which is in 10 days, actually. And with that, since, a lot of you guys are familiar with me giving stuff away, like gold for World of Tanks, I'm going to do no different for this video. And it's going to be related to all the other videos I'm going to put up for the next 10 days. I'm going to be giving away a single copy, a Steam copy of Red Orchestra 2 Heroes of Stalingrad before the day of release on September 12, 2011. To win, you guys might have already known, you must be subscribed to my channel, and you must leave a comment down below. And I want you guys to try to answer the question, What do you guys think of the graphics of Red Orchestra 2 Heroes of Stalingrad? Now, that's not a fair question because the graphics isn't the highest, but I think it looks pretty good. Tell me what you guys think. Answer that question. I'm going to be asking a question all the way through all the videos. This is not going to be a random drawing type. This is all going to be based on the type of comments that you guys drop and how you guys, talk and my responses and how you guys respond. And, it just really depends on what you guys say and what I like. Pretty much at the end of it, we'll see who wins. I'll tell you guys who wins in the future. So again, a single copy of Red Orchestra 2 by subbing, leaving a comment. The more comments that you leave on pretty much the whole course of videos, it's not going to just be this one video. Like in World of Tanks, I would just have one video where if you put a comment in this one video, no. It's going to be all the videos. Anyone who puts a comment in any one of my, daily beta videos for the next 10 days or 9 days will have a chance to win themselves a copy. I'm going to kind of set it up in a playlist, and upper left hand corner I'm going to have day 2. This is going to be day 1. Day 2 beta video. So hopefully someone gets a chance to win it and enjoy themselves. It's a new game. We'll see. Again, this was Pandy, and I thank everyone for watching, and good hunting.